All right, so we're going to do a little lathe work. And now I've already got this, well, back up here a little bit. I've got this piece of brass. I picked it up off eBay for like 20 bucks. Figured that was cheap enough. Brass is easy to machine. Don't laugh at my tool post here. It is what it is. We will eventually get new a new tool holder or tool post, and then some quick change insert, stuff like that. This is just I'm just practicing here. So what I'm going to try to do, I'm not even going to use a mic. I'm just going to use a caliper. So I've got my digital caliper here. This, the reason I did not show you trying to indicate this is because me indicating a piece of material in a lathe is mind-numbing. Probably takes me 15. I think this one took me about 15 minutes to get in there and get it within a thousandth. So, my goal, right now the diameter is right at approximately 1 inch. My goal is to take the first 1 inch, which I've got already marked off with a Sharpie here. I'm going to go to that line, and my goal is to make from here to here 0.75 or 3/4 of an inch. That's what we're going to try to do. No idea if I can do it. I think I've already got some geometry problems with my tool bit, because my tool bit should be in a little bit, so I've already need to fix that, because if you look, my tool bit is going to be on the outside edge, so I actually need to change my tool bit over a little bit. I have already faced it because the material wasn't square in the front. I've already done that. I do realize it is probably sticking out, according to the instructions, at least from what I'm reading, that it is sticking out too far, and I probably should have some type of brace on it. Seems a little odd, but I think it is anything 3 times the material width, so it's sticking out more than 3 inches. But I am only learning at this point. The only reason this video is going to be on YouTube is because other people need to learn too. You might as well learn along with me. I have already taken some crap in some of the comments from my previous videos of what I didn't know, what I didn't, well, everybody knows this. Well, here's what I'm going to say. You weren't born knowing how to tie your shoes. So you learned it at some point, and my job is, what I am set the goal out to myself is to learn. I didn't say I'm going to do it perfect. By no means is this ever going to be perfect. I'm not going to be great at this, but this is a skill that I want to learn because I just want to learn it. So I'm going to set the camera up here. I'm going to go ahead and play with my geometry of my tool bit here just a little bit more. It is kind of a funky setup, mostly because I wanted to try out one of these carbide tool bits that I had in the toolbox that I got with the lathe. And then we will go from there. So hopefully in a couple months, I have a project I need to do for a friend. He needs a threaded rod, 8mm threaded rod, for a hydraulic control. So I'm going to see if I can do that in a couple of months. So I'll need threading inserts and stuff like that. So we'll get there. But I'm going to first try to see if I can even get close to a diameter. Like I said, I'm not going to use a micrometer. I am only going to use a caliper because I felt like if I used a micrometer, it would be an effort and futility, and I probably wouldn't get anywhere close. So I'll set the camera up and see what we can do. All right, so got my dial indicator down here that I'm going to use for my zero, because my crossfeed dial doesn't want to lock. I don't have the correct locking pin like I do for the whatever this is. I cannot remember. Hopefully I've got the camera set up on the lathe itself, so hopefully there's not too much vibration. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to touch off just to get the diameter. I'm going to set my zero, and then for my first run, I'll probably for my first pass, I suppose that would be a technical term, I'm going to take off 5 thousandths. So here we go. Alright, so I've got my zero. I gotta make sure my lead screws turn in the right direction. It's not. Okay. Now I've got everything moving pretty slow, so... Alright, so... Got my 0. And we're going to come in, what did I say, 5,000? So we're going to come in 5 thousandths. And away we go. I come up to speed. Okay, first pass is 5 thousandths. I'm going to come in 10 thousandths for this next one. See if it likes that. Alright, so I guess based on the chip pattern, this is just me assuming I need to read some more, but the fact that I have so many chips flying up, I mean, it is leaving a nice surface on there. I've got it turning at about 1300 RPM. I could go a little bit faster, but I'm comfortable with this right now. I mean, it's not, the surface isn't bad. There's a little bit of chatter, but I'm going to attribute that to probably my tool and my geometry of my tool. But I'm wondering if I actually lower the tool down a little bit, it should be centered. I did double check that on the dead center that I have down on the tailstock. But I'm wondering if I shouldn't lower it down a little bit because all the chips are coming up and towards me. Normally I thought lathes, all the videos, maybe they're supposed to just go up and fall over. But I'm not really sure about that. Something I need to pay attention to. But I'm just going to keep going, and we're going to see if we can get it close to basically take a 1/4 inch off of it. So I'm going to set to creeping up on it, and I'll come back when I get closer to it. All right, so hopefully I didn't overshoot this. I wasn't really paying attention, and I realized that probably taken off a little too much. All right, so one pass too far. So I've got it within 2 thousandths. Is that right? I think so. Hundredths, thousandths. So it's within 2 thousandths. So I've got to take off 2 thousandths. I don't know how to really do that, but we can certainly try. So I think what I'm going to do, just to make sure I know where I'm at, I'm going to come in here and touch off just one more time. Yeah, so that's right where I'm supposed to be. Alright, so that's good news. Alright, let's see if the finished pass will get us to 3/4. I suppose taking off 2/1000 isn't all that ideal. It's practically nothing. But our target was 3/4 of an inch, so. I have adjusted the tool a couple times and it's still making that sound, so I'm just going to toss it up as it's the insert. All right, let's see where we are at. Well, we're within a thousandth, so 0.751. I think I'm going to call that good. It shows that I didn't necessarily creep up on it. I would have preferred to creep up on a little bit closer than that. Had probably 5 to 7 thousandths to take off, but overall I'm really happy. I mean, this was just a quick little project. No real reason other than to see if I can get a dimension that I'm looking for, which I think I can. Probably passed it a couple times. By no means am I going to ever tell myself that, oh yeah, you can do this in one try. But I think overall it looks pretty good. The finish just definitely could be better. Hopefully you can kind of see that. Let me get the carriage out of the way. So I don't think the finish looks too bad. Definitely some not as great as I would have hoped, but I think a lot of that has to do with the tool bit. So I've used a couple different tool bits, and I got my inch that I were close to my inch that I wanted. By no means am I going to be super accurate at this point, but now I can move on to do other things. Like I said, just a quick trial run that I wanted to do. I don't exactly know what I'm going to keep doing with this. I may, maybe see if I can just take off a 10th, 10 thousandths here and do a step. I don't know. So I'm going to keep working on this for a little bit, and I'll probably call it a night. So got questions, comments, by all means, if you've got something, if you have helpful comments, please leave them below. Always excited to hear what other people have to say. Overall really happy with the support and the comments and the people trying to help. Really like that. If you want to have a negative comment, it's like you don't know what you're doing, well, you can leave it. Chances are you're gonna get a smart loud comment back from me, or I'm just gonna delete it. Up to me. My channel, you can do whatever you like. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.